Andrew and Christine Fitzpatrick started the Tommy Strong Foundation in memory of their 6-year-old son who fought long and hard during his battle with cancer. Tommy never gave up his fight, and now his parents won't stop fighting for patients and families affected by the disease. Andrew and Christine join me now to talk about how much the cause has grown and all the lives they've touched along the way. Andrew, Christine, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thanks for having us.
It's our pleasure. Andrew, I'll start with you. How did you and Christine get the idea for this foundation, and why were the two of you so eager to help others?
So as you mentioned, Tommy was diagnosed with brain cancer when he was 4 years old, and he fought it for 2 years, and he passed away when he was 6. And in that 2-year period, we learned just how few treatments there are available for somebody who was in our situation. And some of the treatments that Tommy was getting and so many other kids are getting are decades old, and they're very toxic. So there are a lot of really smart and dedicated people who are working to find better treatments and cures and less toxic treatments, but they need funding to do their work, and they're not getting enough funding from the federal government. So they really rely on private philanthropic donations. And so we wanted to start this foundation in an effort to try to do our part to help fund some of that research. And secondly, we understood what the experience was like for families who were in the fight against cancer. And sometimes you have to spend weeks on end in the hospital with your child. Sometimes you have to relocate and go to another city to find a treatment that might work. And the burden can be really, really rough, not just financially, but emotionally. And so we wanted to try to help support families in that way too. And it could just be gift cards for gas or gift cards for groceries, or helping to subsidize your lodging in another city or something like that to try to ease that burden. And so that's our mission.
Every little bit helps. Now, the foundation, Andrew, has come such a long way. Can you talk about its early days and how it's grown over the years?
Yeah, I really give so much credit to my lovely bride, Christine. She's the dynamo behind this, and it's really a full-time job for her. I think that when we started, we didn't, my expectations were somewhat modest. We just wanted to try to help the doctors that were local, that we knew. And, we've been able to grow, and we're able to help fund research that's taking place as far away as Seattle Children's Hospital, and hospitals and patients who are fighting cancer in Boston and other cities too. And the foundation's given out now over $550,000 worth of grants, which certainly expectations when we started this. So and because of Christine's efforts in marketing the foundation and what we do, now we have people coming to us with fundraising ideas and ideas for different kinds of events and things like that. So it's really gratifying to see.
And Christine, why do you think people are so eager to help out with this cause and jump on board?
Yeah, I think there's a personal connection there. A lot of people in our community knew Tommy, knew our family, knew our story, kind of lived through the experience with us. So there's a personal connection there. And also we've done a lot of advocacy and just trying to raise awareness and make people aware of childhood cancer and the treatments and the lack of funding. And so I think just that personal connection and the time and effort that we've put in to kind of make it a name here and an effort in our community.
And Christine, you've done a lot of work with the Ramsey School District. Can you talk a little about your partnership with them?
Yeah, so that started small, much like our foundation did. I think the first involvement with one of the schools was with one of the elementary schools that our oldest son went to at the time. He was in first grade, and I think it started with wear a hat and donate $1 to school that day. So it's kind of blossomed and exploded from there, where now we have involvement throughout the entire school district. There's during September, which is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, the entire school district from kindergarten up through seniors in high school, everybody participates in a Gold Day. Gold is the color for childhood cancer awareness. So They're invited to wear gold and turquoise, which is was Tommy's favorite color, and make donations. So that, that's district wide. And then there's involvement from smaller groups and or just a single school. Some of like they have book fair, every fall and spring, and the schools will collect book donations and funds during their book fair, and then we give those back to the kids in the hospital. We also have high school seniors who have to do a profile project for graduation, and a lot of them have chosen to work, do charitable fundraising and charitable work with our foundation. So you have everyone from kindergarten up through seniors in high school who participate, and it's great.
It's great to have that kind of support. Now, Andrew, I'll jump back to you. A lot of the fundraisers are done through sporting events. One of them is the class of 2031 Tommy Strong game, which raised about $55,000 in its first 5 years. Now, the kids who take part in that were born the same year as Tommy. How did the foundation develop a connection through sports?
Yeah, since Tommy got sick when he was 4, aside from kicking the ball around in the backyard or going to the driving range, he never really got a chance to play organized sports. But his friends, as they got older, did. And Ramsey is a really great sports town. There's a lot of kids who play. And every summer, the kids who were Tommy's age, there were enough kids playing baseball that there were 2 teams in town, and they would play each other every year in the regular season. And so after Tommy passed away and we started the foundation, 2 of his closest buddies, Bryce and Jackson, who play baseball, and their families, said, why don't we make this game into a community event and a fundraiser for the foundation? And so every summer for the last 5 years, they've done just that. It's a real baseball game, and they wear special uniforms with turquoise accents, and the community comes out, and we raise funds all sorts of different ways, and it's grown every year, and it's been great. And that team this past summer was their 12U summer of baseball, and they went up to play at Cooperstown, and they sort of brought Tommy with them by creating a pin with his name on it, and they carried a jersey with his name in it into the dugout at Cooperstown. And so, Tommy never got a chance to play on the team, but he was still a part of that team. And they really made such an unbelievable effort to keep him as a part of that team through all these years. And we've loved that so much. And as Mike, as you do more events, these things kind of grow off of one another, so varsity coaches or parents who are coaching at the youth level see these events and participate in them and want to do more of them with different sports, football or basketball or baseball. And as Christine said, people are doing these events on all levels, from high school down to, Mighty Mites football. And so that's great to see. And, coaches want to coach kids on the field. They also want to, help raise good humans off the field too. And doing events like these is a good way to do that. There's a great local connection, and it's really benefited our foundation a lot through the years.
That's really great to hear. And Andrew, the foundation has a few events on the schedule in the coming days, including a Halloween party at a children's hospital and a golf outing that's being held by high school students. Can you talk about those events and the expected turnout?
Yeah, actually, and tomorrow night, in fact, at Ramsey High School, the varsity soccer team is playing DePaul Catholic, and one of the players on Ramsey varsity is the older brother of one of Tommy's good buddies, and he built a fundraiser around tomorrow night's game. They did a T-shirt sale, and anybody who attends the game tomorrow at Ramsey can donate. There'll be a snack stand, and they'll be raising funds there. This Friday, Halloween, the foundation's putting together a Halloween party for kids who are at Senzari Children's Hospital. So we expect about 60 kids. We collected donations of Halloween costumes, and we'll bring in food and refreshments, and we'll decorate a room Halloween style. So, these kids will be in the hospital on Halloween, but they'll still be able to celebrate Halloween there, which will be fun. And And then next week on November 6th, um, a trio of Ramsey High School seniors are putting together a golf outing at Ramsey Country Club. And the proceeds there will benefit the Tommy Strong Foundation too. And there's still spots available in that golf outing. So any golfers out there who want to play are absolutely welcome. And the information for that outing is we've posted it on our social media handles on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and information will be up on the website too.
And Christine, another big event you rely on is the holiday toy drive, which will be here before you know it. That benefits kids as far as New York and Boston. Can you talk about the success and impact of the toy drive year after year?
Yeah, so that the toy drive was something we started in 2020, and that was kind of born out of, our foundation was newish at the time, and we had to get a little creative in how we fundraised during lockdown, and also how we gave back to the hospitals and the childhood cancer community. So we came up with it was really a virtual toy drive at the time, where we collected, we put out a wish list, and we toys shipments coming to our house for the month of December. And then, we dropped everything off at the hospital, the Children's Hospital in Hackensack, masks on, couldn't go into the hospital or anything. And it was such a huge success that the following year we decided, let's give it a try. Let's see how this goes, in normal life here. So we were able to, we collected so much that year, we were able to add on another hospital, Children's Hospital at Montefiore in the Bronx. And it's kind of just, again, grown exponentially since then. So this year will be our 6th year doing this. And now we are able to donate toys to 2 hospitals in New Jersey, 1 in New York, and then we have 2 sites up in Massachusetts where we donate toys. And what started as a just collecting toys at our house has, now we have just about every school in Ramsey serving as a collection site. We've got Chick-fil-A in Ramsey. We have schools in other towns, and we even have kids who decide to kind of do their own little collection, whether it's, at a birthday party or, so we just have a lot of participation, a lot more collection sites, and we're able to serve, more than just one hospital all these years later. And it's great.
It's so fantastic to hear. Now, Christine, can you also talk about the feedback you've received from the community? Like, do they ever come up to you and tell you how much you've impacted them?
Yeah, Tommy Strong, it's become more than we ever could have imagined, or at least anything more than I could have ever imagined. We're really grateful to the community that supports us and helps us carry out our mission. Um, and I like to think that this is Tommy. Like, Tommy's making this impact. Um, and I've had parents and teachers come up to me and just thank us for the foundation kind of giving those opportunities to their children to learn at young age, at such a young age, to give back and what it means to give back and help your community. And it shows them that you can make a big difference no matter how small you are. You don't have to make a huge impact right away. Every small thing you can do really makes a larger impact. And we love the support that we get. Any kind of support, any kind of help, we're grateful for it, and we really appreciate it. But when a child reaches out to you and offers to, instead of asking for birthday presents for themselves, they ask their friends to bring a toy to donate to Tommy Strong, or a teen who donates hours training kids in basketball or baseball, and instead of taking those fees for themselves, they'll give back and donate to Tommy Strong. And so, when a kid when a kid wants to help, it really warms your heart.
And Andrew, she basically just answered the question. I'll ask you the same one. What do you want the legacy of the foundation to be? How do you want Tommy to be remembered?
Yeah, we as a foundation, we just want to give hope to kids and their families who are fighting cancer. We've been through it. Um, when you get that diagnosis, it is devastating. But there are a lot of really good, smart, dedicated people, from doctors to nurses to child life specialists in hospitals, who are there to help you help your child. And that's all you want. Um, and so if we can rally our community to help support those people as they support families, then that's a good thing.
And Andrew, final question. If people are looking to support the foundation, what's the best way to go about doing that?
We have a website, so people can go to tommystrong.org and they can learn more about Tommy and the foundation and our mission and what we have done and what we try to continue to do. And anybody who lives locally throughout the year, throughout the Ramsey community and surrounding towns, there's always an event going on at the high school or at the youth level. Local businesses will often do fundraisers for us. So keep an eye out for those events and participate if you can. We'll post all the information and the details so people know about them on our social media platforms and on the website. So keep an eye out, and we hope to see you at an upcoming event.
Well, Andrew and Christine Fitzpatrick, I know it's not an easy conversation to have, but thank you so much for coming on today to talk about the Tommy Strong Foundation, and best of luck in continuing your fight to help others.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's our
Thank
pleasure.
you, Mike.
Of course. Up next, we'll talk to this year's NJPGA Golf Professional of the Year, Mike Atara. Stay with us. Well, Mike Atara has been part of professional golf for nearly 4 decades, and through that passion, he was just named 2025 NJPGA Golf Professional of the Year. Atara mentors several professionals through his company Spirit Golf Management, while also serving as the president of the New Jersey Golf Foundation. He joins me now to talk about his journey. Mike, thanks so much for taking the time today, and congratulations.
Thanks so much. So nice to be here. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. So let's go back to the beginning. Talk about how you first became interested in golf and how that passion led to where you are now.
Yeah, I guess like a lot of kids, kind of played a lot of sports, did a lot of activities, and was outdoors. My folks played a little golf, and then I was the third child, and by the time they got to me, they were busy, and golf clubs were up in the attic. And when I was about 10, I was up in the attic and found their golf clubs. So brought them down and, made my friend hitting rocks with them and just having fun and just a good time. And then they said, "Do you want to play?" And we said, "Sure." So they took us to our local golf course. We went to Tamarack Golf Course first time, and it was, I fell in love with it ever since. So just, they encouraged it, and we had a great time. So I had a good friend that he and I went out and played a lot of golf together when we were young.
And as they say, the rest is history. Now, you founded Spirit Golf Management in 2009. What was the ultimate goal in establishing the company?
I worked for a larger management company. I was a vice president for a management company through the 90s. And, it was great. We were busy. The 90s were kind of like today. Golf was booming, and we were building a lot of golf courses. And as I kind of went through that process of growing that company with, at a point where we got so large, I felt like, we just couldn't be as effective. So I decided it was time to take my shot at it. And I wanted to keep a regional company, something a little more boutique, something that, could be focused in New Jersey and Pennsylvania and kind of the local markets here. And we did just that. And we've been going strong ever since and having a lot of fun. I got a great support team. So it allowed us to really kind of do what we wanted to do, is, really be with our customer, know our golf courses, and be able to spend that time, that critical time that's needed to know an operation.
And I want to piggyback off of what you just said. I know you operate courses, as you said, in Pennsylvania as well as New Jersey. Can you talk about the growth and expansion of the company since its founding in 2009?
Yeah, it's been slow by purpose. We're not trying to be the biggest; we're just trying to be the best, and we're working hard every day for our clients. And we got it. We're in a different spaces. We're in municipal golf. Bucks County, Pennsylvania is where I raised my family. Commuted over to Eagle Ridge Golf Club for about 15 years, and down in Lakewood, New Jersey, and had a great ownership group there. They kind of were the ones that kind of encouraged me to, step out on my own, because at the time we were with Billy Casper Golf, and they said, "Hey, we love you. You're our guy, and if you want to do this yourself, go ahead, and we want to be your first client." So that kind of gave us that step off point, and it just really went from there. And so we run 8 golf clubs, 4 right in Bucks County, because that was kind of home base for me, and we run 2 municipals and a county course and a privately held course there. And New Jersey, we have some residential properties, and up in New York, we have a university school. So just a little bit of everything, but again, trying to keep it kind of within the drive's distance, so we can get to our clients.
It's wonderful. Now, in addition to being president of Spirit Golf Management, you also serve as president of the New Jersey Golf Foundation. Can you talk about how you got into that role and what that job entails?
Yeah, early on, I worked for Tony Wilsinski at Rossmore Golf Club. Through my assistant years, I worked at a lot of private clubs, and so I really learned that traditional role of being a PGA member. And I loved bringing that to the golf management world, and no better place to do that in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So, just kind of work from there, and just had that opportunity to kind of build off of it, and continue to grow the game. So, from the foundation point, it was really about my opportunity to help out. And so Tony encouraged me to get involved. I got involved on player development side. I was on the board, and being on the PGA board, kind of a new. Back then, it was kind of new growth of the game, and player development was something the PGA of America was trying to support, and I jumped in with both feet.
Now let's talk about the reason you're in this interview right now, the award. How did you find out you were being named NJPGA Golf Professional of the Year, and what was your reaction?
Wow, I happened to be in France when I got the call, so that was really cool. I was on vacation with my wife, and Jeff Maines, the Special Awards Committee Chair, called me, so that was amazing. It's a process, though. You get nominated. So I was nominated, and go through that process of putting your application. And I happen to have run that committee and been on that committee, so I know the process. And but it was kind of special getting that call.
That's really cool. Now, I'll close with this question. How rewarding is it to know that you've impacted so many lives as the founder of Spirit Golf Management and as the president of the New Jersey Golf Foundation?
Yeah, I mean, it really is what it's about. I had a chance to give a little speech this morning to my peers, and nothing's more special than that, than being able to talk about, how important, how special that is. But it really is what defines me. Being a part of the New Jersey Golf Foundation has allowed me to really do what I love, and that's to give back. And owning a company, afforded me the time to give to my passion. So, I love giving back to my employees and my members, and most important to all our juniors, the special needs and military that we support through the New Jersey Golf Foundation.
Well, we're so happy for you. Mike Atara, president and founder of Spirit Golf Management and the 2025 NJPGA Golf Professional of the Year. Thanks so much for taking the time today. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Well, that'll do it for this week's show. I'll see you next Monday. For all New Jersey sports and news, head over to ONNJ.com.